Cyclone Joker!
さあ、お前の罪を重ねろ。
Hello and welcome to the hard-boiled Figuarts version 2 of Kamen Rider Double Cyclone Joker. This is a regular release, and that the price for it is the same as a premium Bandai pretty much, because everyone wants this figure. Since it was announced, the pre-orders just went out as soon as just a few hours in. All the pre-orders were stopped, were cancelled, were blocked, were gone, and everyone's like, oh my god, can I get this figure when it comes out? Fortunately, the figure actually came out and there was enough stock for everyone. Now, of course, this is still pretty expensive. It costs a little bit more than some of the other ones, but it's better than expected. I was expecting this to go up to like 700, 800, something stupid like that, but thank God Bandai gave us more than enough stock. And full disclosure, I did not pay the price that I've listed on this video. The price on this video is the official price that's going for at Endpoint, and specifically the store Cougar Toys that I got it from. But Cougar Toys said, hey, mention them in my video, and I paid slightly lower price than that. So that's a full disclosure that I did not pay his retail price, but compared to other shops currently, his price is slightly cheaper if you're in Endpoint. As always, look around every single store. Don't just go to the first store and go buy something. Go to the second floor, first floor, look at every single shop and judge for yourself which price you want to pay for a certain figure. I've had numerous figures that were like $20, $30, even $50 cheaper just by going across. I've had lock seats that one store was like, oh, these are super rare now, so it's like 100 or something, and then the store right next to it had one for like 40. So always be mindful of the stores and, you know, get what's best for you. But yeah, for your disclosure, he gave me a good price. I thank him for that. So his name's in here, and I'll put his logo in the video as well. And the animate about this video is nothing to do with him, because Double is probably one of my second or third favorite Kamen Rider ever. He's so badass. That's why I'm going to put some little bit of animation in here. I also got a good deal on a Tony Stark Figuarts as well, but I'm not going to do animations with that because Shotaro and Philip is way cooler than Tony Stark in my head anyway. So yeah, standard newer version real bone box art style. Got the figure there all filtered and stuff, and on the side there you got, you know, the metallic print of Kamen Rider Double Cyclone Joker and SH Figuarts logo on the top right there. On the back it shows you what you get inside for the most part, and yes, you got tiny little guy memories. That's so cool. Awesome. This is the Hong Kong edition, which is exactly the same as the Japanese one, except it has an ugly sticker right here and also a survey card inside, which I'm going to fill in actually this time because I'm quite passionate about, come on, Cyclone Joker, because there's a few niggles in here. Then you got the little barcode down there on the survey card, and similar instruction sheet to all the previous ones. You can see there, this one side of it. If you do want to take a closer look at the instruction sheet, please head over to the Flickr link or Facebook link in the video description below. And here's the other side. I will also be comparing this to the older original Figuarts because of course I still have it. Just like the other figures in this line before it, the first tray on top is the tray that holds the figure itself. Just pop that open. He did have a thin plastic sheet going around the waist, so you want to pop the torso off or rip that protection piece of plastic off first. And yeah, this comes off very easily. You got the figure right there. The second tray underneath holds all of his accessories. So this one should open okay. Be careful. You got two really tiny guy memories in here. They're about they're longer, taller than the lock seats from the Figuarts, but they're a lot thinner and slimmer than lock seats from the Figuarts. So as you can see there, you got a lot more hands, guy memories, and different scarves going on. Here's a full picture of Accessory Comparison. You know, on both sides you have the more relaxed or smaller scarf going on and the slightly wavy scarf, and on the new one, look at it, it's far more extreme. Now I do like these for, you know, effects and all that, but And in fact, the previous releases, we did get these more extreme waves and scarves, but it didn't come with Cyclone Joker. It came with some of the other packs. I can't remember exactly which pack, but it came with it came with the Cyclone Metal and the Cyclone Trigger pack, I think. Yeah. So you know, that was like the Cyclone double pack, and that had like special bigger scarf and stuff. Didn't look exactly like this one, but it was available. Now these two are cool and all, but this isn't quite that relaxed. I mean, this one, if you just want to pose, come out a double and just a relaxed pose, this is gonna work. These aren't. And another thing is, these are made out of slightly rubbery plastic, but they're not as rubbery as the original ones. These ones are really soft. However, the plus side on these is they do have a little peg joint on there, so you can rotate these, move them up and down, like swivel and all that. Now, that's cool. So, so the plus sides and downsides, I do wish that this double came with at least just the most relaxed scarf there is. It seems a bit of a misstep or something that they just missed. It really needs one of these. Oh well. In terms of hands here, apart from both figures having the fists already attached to them when they come out of the package, you also have what's supposed to be relaxed hands. Now on this side is the new hands, this side's on the old hands, and you can see the color difference already. The old one is old hands are much more metallic in color of the green hands, and the hands Ultra actually a bit thicker, a bit bigger. We have not quite pointing hands, but now we have actually pointing hands. We have spray open hands and kind of relaxed hands. This one we actually do have relaxed hands. Got two fingers kind of pointing, where we have a more detailed two fingers pointing there, and same with the Joker side of hands. The fingers here are much sharper, much thinner. The details are much better on the new hands. The coloring, now Kamen Rider Joker figure had the coloring fixed. The coloring looked very, very nice on that figure. It was one of the highlights of SC Figuarts from before. But Cyclone Joker, the black there didn't look quite right. It looked very plasticky. So they fixed that in later releases, like in later just Joker releases, so that's good. But the original one was just a little bit lacking in that regard, a little bit too shiny, a little bit too plasticky. So the new one has fixed the coloring with that just by looking at the hands. The green is also much closer to the original. However, a lot of people have pointed out that the color is still not exactly the same as the suit in the show, but that could be due to coloring on the actual video and whatnot. If you take a photo of the new figure, you can just push the coloring just a little bit, and it should look just like the one in the show. So, whereas the old one, you see, it's really shiny, really green, which is nice. I do like this color a lot. But if you're looking for something that's screen accurate, show accurate, you definitely are gonna be much more happy with the newer figure. And finally, the best accessories we can get here, actually tiny little guy memories. I'm going to take a picture of these guy memories and zoom in on them on the video just so you can get a closer look at them. But yeah, they are so tiny. And you know, they're pretty much just transparent plastic, but they have the silver and gold tips painted on them. However, the little logo picture that they've printed on there, I get what they've done in order to make it more visible, that you can see what it is. They've altered the design a little bit and actually enlarged the removed quite a lot of the details from what it would actually look like, and I get why they've done it, but I don't like it too much. I wish the color was just a little bit darker and looked more like the actual guy memories. Oh well.
ゾクゾクするね。
Here are the two figures side by side, and you can see that this newer one is actually just a tiny bit taller than the original. And of course, much like all of the other figures in this Real Bones series, the proportions are much more accurate. We've got new joints, new style joints, and so just the entire sculpt is called new. Start with the head. The head actually looks like you can fit a head in there in this helmet. I was want to point out that this double horn there can actually come out. It's not glued down or anything. So if you're really careful, put the pressure in just the right spot. Don't pull on the horns. Actually pull inside. They can actually pull the whole thing out and make it easier for you to repaint the heads, I guess. Head joint looks up, looks down quite a lot, quite well. And the compound eye effect on there are also much nicer on the newer figure than it is on the old. much more denser, the compound effects. The double horn also looks a little bit silly on the old one now, looks a little bit more exaggerated on the old one, looks a little bit bigger, he looks a little bit more pissed off because it looks a little bit more like an angry bird. So that's not too good. Going down a little bit, you can see the chest armor here, and again, the top of this figure, the joint of the shoulder pads are visible, destroying the look and style of the suit, whereas here is attached on little ball pegs, ball hinges that are hidden underneath. And again, the gold coloring on the chest there, as well as the shoulder pads, are also much more realistic, whereas this one's a lot shinier. The sculpting on the chest armor, on the pattern there, on the Joker and Cyclone effect, is also much more screen accurate, much more detailed than the old one. And again, the paint job is a little bit more realistic, a bit darker compared to the new one. And of course, one of the biggest differences between old and new is the double driver, the belt itself. Like I said, you got little tiny game memories, and they slot in right here. And you actually have an articulated double driver, which is cool. One thing that's not cool though is that it has no stop, so the plastic goes pretty much all the way down there, and it just looks a bit weird, like someone he pushed the belt too hard and he broke it. Paint jobs, much more details on the paint job. For example, you got actually the black pattern and weathering painted all over, whereas this one doesn't. The little window there is actually made out of transparent plastic with green and purple paint inside, whereas here's just a flat coloring. And if you go to the side of the figure, the game memories can also enter this maximum drive slot. This maximum drive slot also doesn't rotate anything. It is glued on there pretty tight, whereas the old one just has just a random block there. Looks a bit silly. I will say though, at this point though, the one good thing about the old one is the scarf. Now I was mentioning earlier how the scarf is always in that epic pose. Well, look at it. It just looks a bit silly. This is a relaxed scarf, which is what it looks like for the most part in the show. Whereas this, it's already waving around, meaning that the old figure actually has a much more screen accurate scarf when he's just standing there. This one's just a little bit annoying. I don't like this. I want a normal scarf to go on my figure. Unfortunately, the old scarf does not plug in there. The slot in here is actually a slot that I thought it was going to go this way, but no. The slot for the scarf is actually this way. And you see this big grey peg there is not even metallic in color. Yeah, you're going to have to deal with that. For a series that's meant to be as realistic as it can in terms of the scale, they have a giant ugly grey ballpoint joint there. Whereas the old one, both of them are hidden quite well, and you actually can't see the joint for the scarf. So kudos to the old figure. You actually have one point that's definitely better than the new figure. Now, yeah, you can say you're not going to see it for the most part from the front, but just from the side, you start to see this huge ugly ball there. I really don't like that. I don't know why they did that. This is terrible. Don't give us a version 3.0. That's ridiculous. Give us, when you do eventually do the other colors of double in this line, just give us some alternate scarves there. That'd be great as a, apology or something. And on the back of the belts, very similarly done. They're both weathered and stuff, but again, the details here are just much finer on the back of the belt. Back to the front of the figure, I also have to point out that these two chest pieces actually come off very easily. In fact, I'm just going to take them off now. You see there's a little ball joint right down there. They are going to be releasing the other forms because it's an easy repaint. They just remove these little bits on the arm and the leg and the front chest piece, repaint it, there you go. That's a different double form already. They can mass produce all different forms again, which is actually kind of annoying because I didn't exactly complete my original set that long ago. And when we get to this bit, I'll point out this little niggle there. It's actually like someone they dug their fingernails into the plastic, and that's not cool. A lot of other people online have also showcased photos that they put online where they have paint jobs that didn't go quite right, scratch marks and whatnot. So the quality control is definitely a little bit iffy. I also want to say that these tiny guy memories, they are not stuck in there. They will come out very easily. In fact, if I just... Oh, there they go. lasts forever, so do be careful with your new figure. The guy memories do not stay there. Down to the legs, I like the new legs a lot more because this actually looks more like the suit. Because they, you know, in the show, the actor would be wearing this green shiny suit underneath, and the armor pads would go on top of it. Whereas on the old figure, it's just sort of just one piece, so it doesn't look as realistic as it can. Down to the bottom, because this was in 2010, the original one, 6 years ago, so it still had die-cast feet, whereas this one does not. And I'm just gonna see if the without die-cast feet, can this figure hold up the Giant Effects scarf? Now the old one couldn't really hold up the scarf either because it was a pretty big scarf. But let's see, which way is this supposed to go? I guess I'll go left and see if he can hold up. Oh. Yes, he can. He can stand there with the scarf. So, well, that's something. At least it doesn't need the die-cast feet. That's good. So there's your comparison. For the most part, the new one is win-win overall. Sculpt, coloring, molding, details, it's all good. Except for the scarf. Better on the old one. And finally, with the comparison, I also forgot to point out that of course the old one didn't have the correct colors for the joints. This was fixed with the Kamen Cyclone release, but anything before that, oops, they forgot, so oopsies for you. And of course the new one has the correct color joints and stuff. Here's a test of him with the original hard boiler. As you can see, he fits pretty well. Unlike the DK figure, the old bike, DK was actually quite a bit smaller compared to more modern SH Figuarts, so the bike also fit his scale. So when the new version of DK came out, which was much bigger, the bike does look a little bit too small for him to ride. Not to the point where it's unusable, but it just looks a little bit iffy. Whereas here, this the hardboiler is much bigger of a bike, so it's gonna suit this double pretty well. And yeah, you can see here, his scale is pretty much almost there. His butt can't quite hit the seat because of the shape of this thing. This bike is also quite chubby, you can see from the front. So they are re-releasing this bike and of course updating it just enough to give it just enough, a little bit more detail and stuff. But at the moment I am unsure if the new bike will have the ability to detach the green bit and attach the other accessories from old bikes, or if they're going to release other accessories. I don't think they're going to do that. So I did see that the details on the back on the new bike are going to be a little bit more refined, a bit finer, a bit detailed, and the front panel, the glass there, is also going to actually have lights molded into it. The tires also look more detailed. So little bits in here, but overall this bike is still as good as I want it to be. So I might get the new bike, and if the difference is not too big or I can't do any gimmicks with it or anything, I might repaint that into the skull boiler, because it's the same bike, and if it doesn't have the functions of this bike anyway, then I'm going to repaint that. And because the skull boiler looks awesome. And this one also has a lot of metal and die-cast bits in it, which I am very sure the new bikes will not have it, because all of the new bikes don't have any die-cast metal in them anymore. So this one feels heavy, whereas I'm pretty sure the new one will feel light and just blow in the wind. So this is a good bike, and this rider fits on it very well. So I'm quite happy with this. Ding. Let's go for the full articulation. So head looks up, double joints there, double joints. Head goes down, sideways, sideways, full rotation on the head. Got the shoulder joint in there, full rotation here, double elbow joints, and of course the shoulder pads are on a little hinge, that's on a little ball, so they got a lot of movement there. Just most part get out the way. Arm goes up, full rotation, leg, body, ball joint, so quite a lot of movement there, sideways, sideways, and down, because this belt's gonna get in the way a little bit. And I'm glad the belt's also on a rubbery, soft rubbery strap, so you can definitely decade this guy up just by swapping belts. Leg goes up, leg goes back, leg goes sideways, leg does rider kick, double knee joint, foot goes up and down, sideways, sideways, and toe does have a joint, it's very tight, but it does 80 degrees, I'd say. So that's pretty cool. Let's see if you can, how well you can do a big kick just by 1 foot. Nah, you can't do it. This new version of the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Double is awesome, despite the minor gripes I have. For example, the quality control that I have concerns on. So if you're overseas and ordering, that's going to be a really big issue. If you're going to be really annoying that you can't get another one easily because due to shipping on top of the middleman prices, it's going to be really annoying for you. Hopefully you're lucky enough, and for the most part it's just little scratches here and there, or the painting just a little bit out of line. Nothing too bad like breaking hands or legs or anything. That would be really sad, but this figure feels quite solid, quite secure overall, quite durable, so I'm quite happy there. And so yeah, molding, painting and overall quality is awesome. My gripe is because it is quite an expensive figure, and the scarf does annoy me to no end with a little peg that just pops out of his neck, and I am also worried about the guy memory is just going missing. So I'm personally going to drop just a tiny bit of blue tack into the belt, nothing noticeable, just so that the guy memories don't fall out when I'm posing the figure. I've actually already dropped the Cyclone memory once while I'm filming this review. Not the animated bits, just the review part, so a little bit scary there. So despite the minor gripes, if you like Kamen Rider Double or you're just collecting Kamen Rider stuff recently, this is a definite pickup. I like this figure so much, I think it's awesome. So hurry up and count up your monies. Time to count up your monies and go pick up this Kamen Rider. I'm also very happy that this fits on the old bike. The old bike can cost huge. The price varies so much depending on the seller. You can get it quite cheap or get it quite expensive depending on who you buy from. So do be careful. Do search around a bit before picking up the bike. And as for the other forms, I look forward to seeing them. And I guess eventually it'll be quite easy to customize your own Kamen Riders just with paint jobs, because the chest pieces are easy swappable. So when they do, so you just need to buy 3 Cyclone Jokers, 3 heat metals, and 3 lunar triggers. Swap around the chest plates and the little bits on the arms and the legs, and just paint everything, and then you have yourself all 9 forms. And then wait till they release Extreme, if they ever do that. So yeah. Subscribe, suggestion, comment below, and of course take care. Have a nice day. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, please consider clicking the like button, subscribe button, or leaving a comment below how you feel about this figure, as well as previous SH Figuarts, either Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, or any other Figuarts. I've also reviewed a lot of other Figuarts on this channel, including Sailor Moon, Power Rangers, and Michael Jackson, for example, and Star Wars Figuarts, so you can check those out as well. Hopefully with ad block turned off, I would appreciate that so much. You can also support this channel if you think this channel deserves to grow and do other kinds of videos. On my main Digger 318 channel, not the toy reviews one, I have done a SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Black vs Darth Vader animation that's going to debut on November 1st, 2016. The trailer's already up, the behind the scenes video should be up tomorrow when I'm filming this. And so hopefully you can check that out as well, hopefully also with adblock turned off. And if you think, if you like what you see there, and if I get more support on Patreon and stuff, I can spend more time doing animation and see how that goes. I really want to do more videos, but I don't have the time for it. I have a full-time job and everything. But, of course, as always, you don't have to do any of that. Take care, have a nice day, and time to count up the sins.